All right, the King James Bible is the perfect Word of God. You can hold it in your hand, read it, and believe it, and apply it to your life. I have been a member of Audible.com for many, many years, and I get credits for books. One of the books I purchased recently is Permanent Record by Edward Snowden. Edward Snowden is a whistleblower that showed the American people that the United States government has something called the PRISM surveillance program, where they spy on Americans everywhere, their emails, their phone calls, and it is very, very illegal for the United States government to do that, but nobody seems to care. There should be riots in the streets that the American government has something called the PRISM surveillance program. But when Edward Snowden revealed that, he became an enemy of the satanic, tyrannical United States government and fled the country. I believe he now lives in Moscow and is married. And so he had to flee America to live in Russia. Think about that. And my understanding is he started an organization called the Freedom of the Press Foundation. Now, there's a lot of the people that I hang out with that talk about Edward Snowden as if he's a hero. And I've been listening to his book. I'm probably 7 hours into his book, and that's probably only 50% of the book, and I've got the rest to go through. I'm just going to be blunt. From my perspective, the book is kind of boring. He talks about how he was raised and became interested in computers, and all of his ancestors fought in American wars. And, I have a Cisco certified internet working expert. I have an electrical engineering degree. And so when he talks about his upbringing and his interest in computers, it mirrors a lot of my own. And maybe that's why I think it's boring, because he talks about administrators and certifications and networks and things like that. And for me, I don't know, it reminds me of a life I once had before I got fired for not being politically correct with the LGBTQ, and how Cisco loves sodomites more than they do, technical ability. But anyway, let's go back to Permanent Record by Edward Snowden, right? I got off track. So I want you to hear a little clip from Edward Snowden's book. And before you lift him up as this all-knowing hero and somebody, he runs this Freedom of the Press organization, keep in mind, he had top-level security clearance as a contractor, and he spent his evenings, when he didn't have a lot to do, perusing the CIA database because he had top-level security clearance. And he claims because he had access to all of this computer clearance within the government that he now has informed opinions about the moon landing, chemtrails, and climate change. So let's hear what he has to say, and then I just want you to hear this little clip.
My forays through the CIA systems were natural extensions of my childhood desire to understand how everything works, how the various components of a mechanism fit together into the whole. And with the official title and privileges of a systems administrator and technical prowess that enabled my clearance to be used to its maximum potential, I was able to satisfy my every informational deficiency and then some. In case you were wondering, yes, man really did land on the moon. Climate change is real. Chemtrails are not a thing. On the CIA's internal news sites, I read top secret dispatches regarding trade talks and coups.
Okay, I just wanted you to hear that before you go around and promote Edward Snowden as the know-all, end-all for, freedom-related issues. The man believes we landed on the moon. He believes chemtrails are not a thing, and climate change is real. And he believes that based upon his queries and inside information and access to the CIA database. Like, I would trust the CIA database to give anything but lies, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, I just wanted you to hear that, and you guys have a great day, and we'll keep walking down the journey of truth, and we will not compromise. Did I mention that the King James Bible is the perfect Word of God?